When thousands of Salvation Army volunteers will door-knock homes around the country for the Red Shield appeal. And worrying new research shows it's more important than ever to be generous. For more this morning, I'm joined by the Salvation Army's Major Peter Sutcliffe. Good morning to you, Major.
Good morning, Anne.
Always a busy time for the Salvos coming into winter, and this latest research shows the gap between rich and poor is growing.
That is right. 60% of the population, roughly 11 million people, are saying that that gap between the rich and poor is getting wider. And on top of that, 1 in 4 of our people are saying that they're struggling more than they did this time last year.
So how many more people are worse off than they were a year ago, do you understand?
Well, from our people, just from our clients we see, they're saying roughly 23% of our clients we see are worse off than they were at this time last year.
So how do you help people having trouble paying for basic everyday items?
They come to our welfare centres, we assist them with food vouchers and if need be with assistance with paying their rent, electricity and gas bills and phone bills and things like that. And if they need more assistance with just managing their money, they can talk to our MoneyCare financial counsellors, and we'll work with them to work on a budget so they can try and stick to it.
But with so many more people needing help, it must be tough for you. Tell us about this weekend's Red Shield appeal.
This weekend we'll have lots of collectors out and about over the country, knocking on doors in shopping centres, at sporting centres, raising funds for the Red Shield appeal.
Well, good luck, keep up the good work, and thank you for telling us about it today.
Thank you.
Major Peter Sutcliffe.
Knocking at your door this weekend, and they need your help more than ever, with resources stretched to the max. New figures show well over 50% of us are struggling to pay for basic necessities and feel stressed about the future. For more on this, we're joined now by Major Jeff Winterburn, who is from the Salvation Army. Major, thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
People out there are stretched, we're hearing from new figures.
Certainly, that's right. We're seeing that people who are existing clients already who come with the Salvation Army are really feeling stressed over this. The cost of living is on the increase, electricity rises, rents, food prices are all on the up and up, and our existing clients are certainly really feeling the pressure at this time.
And what can you say, or what can the Salvos do in these circumstances?
Well, certainly that this Red Shield appeal is our national fundraiser, which we really need the funds to maintain the service that we provide for not only our existing clients but for new people coming to the Salvation Army for support.
Now, your volunteers are going to be door knocking this weekend.
This weekend.
And if you don't get a knock on the door, how can you help out?
Well, certainly if you miss a door knocker this weekend, you can make a donation by ringing 1372 58 or any Westpac bank, or go online, salvos.org.au.
Have you got an aim for the amount that you're looking for this year?
Well, certainly $80 million is our national goal, and this weekend we hope to raise around about $10 million.
All right, Major Jeff Winterburn, thanks very much for coming in. Let's hope you get to that total.
We hope so.
We'll see you soon.
Someone struggling to pay for basic necessities like food and water. A survey in the lead up to this weekend's Salvation Army Red Shield appeal door knock also reveals 60% of us think that the gap between rich and poor increased over the past year. The Salvos estimate more than 2 million Australians are now living in poverty. Their annual door knock starts tomorrow, aiming to raise $79 million.
Winter, boy oh boy, it's the Salvation Army's annual Red Shield appeal this coming weekend, and as we listen to the band, some facts and figures. The Salvos assist more than 1 million people every year. They say 25,000 families are homeless every night in Australia, 45,000 individuals are out on the street, 60,000 women and children need refuge from domestic violence every year. They claim 2.2 Aussies live under the poverty line, and they need your help to assist these families. There it is, the Red Shield appeal, Salvation Army tin. It is empty. It needs to be filled. You'll be doing that hopefully this coming weekend. Thank you to the Salvation Army band, and thank you to you at home. Sounds good, doesn't it? Okay, more on the weather.
Everyone to dig deep when they come knocking this weekend, with more people than ever struggling with the rising costs of living. Last year, 1 million Australians turned to the Salvos for help, and 80,000 of those were seeking assistance for the first time. Figures out yesterday show well over 50% of people know someone who's struggling to pay for the basic necessities.
A survey showing 2/3 of Australians know someone who is struggling to pay basic bills. On the eve of the Red Shield appeal, we're joined by the Salvo's Major Jeff Winterburn. Major, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
There are so many people doing it tough at the moment. Do you believe there's a widening gap between the rich and the poor?
Oh, certainly is. Almost 60% of Australians believe that the widening gap between rich and poor is getting there, getting greater. And the need for this Red Shield appeal to raise this money is so great this weekend.
Why are so many more families struggling to get by at the moment?
Well, certainly the cost of living, electricity and rent and sewerage and power and water rates certainly put a pressure on people's budgets. And we're also seeing 1 in 4 of our existing clients who are having trouble saying that they're worse off this year what they were 12 months ago.
Now, Major, there was a famous musician busking in Sydney this morning for the Salvos. How else can people help this weekend?
Well, this weekend we'll be out knocking on doors, and people who have want to volunteer for us to collect, they can make that call to 13 72 58 and help us do the collection this weekend.
And do you have a target? Just how much are you hoping to raise this weekend?
Well, the national goal is $80 million with the door knock goal of $10 million nationally.
And where will that money go?
That'll go to our services that the Salvation Army provide for its social work in Australia. Things like money care, financial counselling, drug and alcohol rehabilitation services, and suicide prevention services as well.
All right, Major Winterburn, thanks for your time and all the best this weekend.
Thank you so much.
This Red Shield door knock appeal is taking place this weekend, and it comes as new research commissioned by the charity shows that 60% of people think the gap between rich and poor has increased over the last 12 months, and nearly 70% say they know people who are finding it hard to pay for the basic necessities of life. The Salvo's Major Glenn Whittaker joins me now. So, Glenn Whittaker, things seem to be getting worse, not better. Why is that?
Look, the reason they are getting worse is that from this research that we've done externally, but also internally, that people are becoming more stressed about their situation. And we've found within the Salvation Army that people are now having to choose between, do they buy shampoo this week or do they buy another commodity, because they're simply finding that their money is not stretching as far as it used to go.
And does it show that while the poor are getting poorer, perhaps at the other end of the scale, the rich are getting richer?
Look, that is perhaps a good analogy to show. I can say that those who have the ability to support charities and places like the Salvos, they are getting behind us. But our real concern is that, for the Red Shield appeal, we're trying to raise some money, and it's the vulnerable people that the Salvos want to get behind, and those who are feeling the stresses of this everyday life with the increases of electricity and food and, the basics of everyday living.
Now, one of the most striking statistics in your research is that last year 80,000 people came to ask for your help for the first time. What were the sorts of circumstances that brought them to you?
Look, it was a combination of the necessities of life. It was not able to meet their current debts. And the research that we've just produced now through the Roy Morgan and through the Salvos is that this is now escalating, and we're getting further and further people who, through no circumstances of their own, are now having to turn to a charity and say, look, we can't do it anymore, can you please help us?
And out of your existing clients, you found that a quarter are saying they're a lot worse off than they were a year ago, and more than half feel stressed about the future. How can you help people out of this downward spiral? What practical help can you offer?
Look, the help comes from the Salvation Army and the community working together. And that's why this weekend we have our Red Shield appeal. We want to raise $9 million over this weekend, and that'll go towards our national appeal for $79 million. The money from that goes to a variety of opportunities. I think a lot of people would know that we do recovery work and homeless work, but the Salvation Army also provides services such as money care, where people can come to the Salvos, receive professional advice in their circumstances. It provides counselling and a wide range of services. It is there to work with you. So my ask today is get behind the salvos so that we can raise this money. But if you are one of those people in life who are finding it really, really troublesome at this time, please make contact with us and allow us to work with you to try and get your journey back on track.
Major Glenn Whittaker, thank you.
Thank you.